Welcome to the Wendy's Tournament Tip-Off Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores. I'm Mike McGivern alongside Coach Mike Sadowski from St. Francis. Coach Sid, how you doing?
Great. Pleasure to be here.
When we talk girls basketball, you're my guy. You had 29, 30 years, something like that, over at St. Francis and coaching in AAU. And you've spent as much time in girls basketball as I did in boys basketball. And I appreciate you coming by and letting us do this preview show with just the best time of year, right? The girls basketball tournament kicking off today at the Rush Center up in Green Bay, and looking forward to breaking down each of the divisions with you. But before we get to that, I wanted to talk about kind of the state of girls basketball here in Wisconsin, and you're much closer to it than I am. But what I see from where I'm sitting is it looks like individually the talent level has gone up, but it seems like the participation has come down a little bit.
Definitely. The high-end talents there's a big gap between the have and the have-nots that keeps getting wider, and the declining numbers is becoming an issue.
Well, why do you think that the declining numbers is the way it is? Is it other sports pulling girls in? Is it the idea of having to maybe play year-round to be at that high level?
It's a number of things. You know, a lot of people point and want to blame it all on club volleyball, which isn't the sole reason. It's kids starting earlier. You also eliminate kids. They get, if they don't make a travel team or if they don't make a select team in their community, they get cut. They're less likely than a male player to come back and give it another try.
Hey, do you believe, like I do, that there's more opportunities for kids now than ever? I remember when AAU started and travel teams started, they were just for the top of the top. And now I think there are places for kids that want to get better in the off season, that they get a chance to play. There's a lot of teams for kids to try out for.
There was a limited number of AAU when I started back 29 years ago. Now there's all kinds of AAU, and they start them third grade up. Like our club has from third grade up, numerous teams at each level. Each community, the bigger communities have select teams from like third, fourth grade up. I mean, it's much more opportunity.
You know, I was at a boys game a week ago or so, and sitting in front of a father and his fourth grade daughter. She had a ponytail, she had Bucks jersey on, and she was fully engaged in this boys game. And I said to her, I pointed at her jersey, I said, "Who's your favorite player?" And she said, "Caitlin Clark." I said, no, your favorite Bucks player. And she looked at her dad and smiled and went, "It's Dame time." And I looked at him and I said, "That's awesome." He said, "She is so into this." The Caitlin Clark part of this, I think, you're going to feel for years the effect that she has had for this little girl, for me to ask who's your favorite player, and for her to right away, without missing a beat, say Caitlin Clark. I think that's going to be good for girls basketball at all different levels, and we're gonna feel that for years to come.
Definitely. The impact she's had as far as, you just look at their games, all the celebrities coming to see her play, the coverage on regular TV that they're getting, that they deserve. It's hopefully it'll keep going.
Hey, talk to me about the feeling that these teams have. The teams that are playing today, and we're going to talk about Division 5 and 4 and 3. We'll talk about all of them that are going to be playing the next couple of days. But I was blessed enough to be part of that a few times, where we're at the Kohl Center getting ready to be able to play. This week for these girls, school almost kind of stops, and I hate to say that, but everybody is so excited about getting on the bus to get up to the Rush Center, to get a chance to get, on the floor and play. If these teams and players and schools haven't been there before, I think it's a big difference compared to the teams that have had a chance to play there before.
Definitely, especially if you see the smaller communities where basically they shut the lights off, last person leaving town. That's always neat to see when I go up. I've been up to state tournament every year I've been coaching. I make sure I go up there for all 3 days.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there are some communities for the first time in a long time they're going to get a chance to be part of this. And I think it just for those smaller communities and for City of Milwaukee. Look, if you're a team like Prairie School in Racine, or you're a school like Pewaukee who's been there a number of times, it's still something special. Hey, we're going to get to a break, Mike. And other side of the break, we're going to talk about Divisions 5 and 4, and I've got some questions about some things that I see in Division 5, and I want to talk a little bit about Division 4. There's some really quality basketball players and programs in both of those divisions, and we'll get to that on the other side of the break. This is the Wendy's Girls Tournament Tip-Off Show, presented by your local Pick and Save stores, only on My 24.